Hello everybody, welcome back. This is episode number 2 of the Amber Army YouTube Football Manager 2018 experiment. What we got now? We got Together Stronger, Welsh League, Revamped and Boosted. I don't think I got that the right way round, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean. Here we go. We're halfway through our first season. We're on the 2nd of February, so that means that the transfer window would have just closed. As you can see, the league is looking quite interesting. Swansea were looking like the team that were most likely to go ahead and do great things this season, but it looks as though Cardiff are taking the reins, still unbeaten as well. So for me, I think someone's made a couple of signings here. I think a lot of people would have had to make a lot of signings. I think over the next few windows, you're going to see a lot of signings being made. It's pretty much how it went down on the save that I've got. So I think the first thing we're going to do, we're going to start looking into competitions, is have a look at the transfer window. I'm sure I clicked that then. There we go. So these are the amounts of ins and outs on this one. It is closed now. 46 deals were done. So let's have a look. So Cardiff spent on 2 players. They must have got one on a free. And picked up Christian Burgess for 600k. Newport County have spent money again. They've spent 4.3 million and brought in 5 players. That's probably why they're doing a little bit better. So they spent overall 3.8 because they have sold a player as well. So there's not many H there, is there? Not many players have actually moved on. So I would have thought some teams would have spent a little bit more, to be honest with you. I mean, Barry is spending. I mean, they're up towards the top. They need to be spending. Let's have a little look then. So we're looking for the ones with 1 in there. So Christian Roberts to Newport. So Newport made the 2 biggest deals, well, 3 of the biggest 6 deals made. Bringing in Jordan Smith from Nottingham Forest as well for 1.3 million. So Barry picked up Adama Diamande from Hull. Cardiff picked up Ashley Hunter from Fleetwood. And Colwyn Bay picked up a couple of good players. Prestatyn are up towards the top, but then that was in September. They picked him up. Josh Clark, Brentford to Barry. Matthew Smith, Goitra to Wrexham. Cam Edwards, Carnarvon to Wrexham. Christian Burgess from Portsmouth to Cardiff. That's the one that we saw on the other screen. Merthyr picked up a few players. So they're all making some signings, but there's no big money signings yet. But don't worry, guys, they will come. So this is what I'm interested in: 2.3 million, the highest paid, or the highest fee for any player. It's 2.3 million from Llandudno Junction. So this must be a regem. It's worth 4.7 million now. He's a left back. We're going to have a little cheat and have a look. So not exactly going to set the world alight. Probably not worth all that money. I mean, like Lopez, yeah. There's actually a 114 current ability, which is actually very good for this division at this moment, with a 130. So he's going to become a very good player. So he's worth the money. I don't think Christian Roberts was worth paying more money for. Ashley Hunter is interesting. Yeah, another good one. Another good signing there. Diomande. So these are going to be some of the stars now. He's going to be one of the best players in the division now. Diomande is going to be scoring goals for Barry, which is why I'm going to put Barry as a potential favourite for the title now. But this is great to see, isn't it? So there's the transfers for you. Any manager movement. So Cardiff Met Uni sacked their manager, Christian Edwards, and they got Lee Bridgman, whoever that is, to be their new manager. Any other movements? TNS would have pushed someone out the door there. Interesting to see. I wonder what TNS are doing now in the Champions League. They were the Champions League contender. They're not in it anymore. They're not in any competition now, so they must have crashed out. So Champions League, they got through the first qualifying round, but got knocked out by whoever these are, a Croatian team, HNK Riga. Probably shouldn't have happened, but like I say, at the end of the day, it's only the first season in, but we do need these teams doing well in Europe. I think the other team in the Welsh Premier League was Bala, would have been in the UEFA Cup. They're not in anything now. Yeah, they went out to whoever these are. Domzali, a Slovenian team. This sort of crap that you usually associate with Welsh teams playing in Europe will definitely be a thing of the past. I know TNS have done a lot better than any other team have done in recent years, but they still haven't got through to a competition yet. You will see Welsh teams getting through to competitions very soon, trust me, especially when these were at the top of the league year. When these end up getting into a competition, that'll be when things change for Welsh teams in Europe. So Cardiff are looking like a shoo-in at the moment for the title, undefeated. Will they have an Invincibles season? Barry with their new big striker that they've signed, will they have a better season? Well, will they push Cardiff? I mean, we're talking about Cardiff having a close rival in Cardiff Met Uni. It looks like they're going to fall out of the division now. They're getting pumped every game near enough. Cardiff have got Barry, who are close by, Swansea, who are already rivals, Merthyr, who are close by, and Newport pushing them right now. So that little pocket of teams, that it could be a nice, big, juicy rivalry for years to come. I mean, you've got TNS, Wrexham and Colwyn around each other, and Bala, who are close by. Llandudno is close by with them as well. Newtown's not too far away from Wrexham and TNS. Carmarthen is close to this lot, so you've got some really good rivalries in the making here. Bangor City are another North Welsh team who could rival the likes of Wrexham, but they may go down. So yeah, I'm liking how these rivalries are going to develop. I'm liking the look of it. It's going to be great to see. So this is how the Welsh Premier League is looking at the moment, and the transfers that have just happened. Let's go to the Cymru Alliance, which is the next division down. Okay, so Penny Bond are holding things at the top. Llandudno Junction have sold one of their better players to Newport County, but they're still there in second in an automatic place. Them two looking likely to go up. And then we looked at Guilsfield at the beginning of the season because they'd spent the most money. But they've fallen off the boil a little bit, but they've still got the playoffs to look forward to. So it's all really, really tight. I mean, it doesn't look like anyone... It looks like the bottom three are going down. But Denby and up, any one of them teams could make the playoffs. That's mental. So just outside relegation, 13th place. So the team just above the relegation spot, even though mathematically they could still go down, they could actually finish in a playoff place. That's going to be interesting. I wonder who's... There's absolutely no telling who's going to finish in those playoff places there. That's mad. And the thing is, I'd say anyone from Ruthyn up could still get into second place. Pardon me. Well, this is a great league. It's got to be really exciting, because all it takes is a couple of wins and you come from there to there. So in the transfer window, was there money spent by these teams? There was a little bit. Not many ins. Total transfer spending was only 1.9 million. You thought there'd have been a lot more than that, but as further windows come, as more money goes into their banks, because they do get a lot more from sponsorship and TV, and that's the Cymru Alliance as well. The entire Welsh League gets decent money right the way down to the bottom. So we've got 8 levels. All 8 levels get decent money, but it's not unrealistic money. It's not putting too much money into it. It's just sort of putting the Welsh League on something of a par with the Premier League. Just to see how long it takes for them to catch up with the Premier League, of course. This is what this division's looking like anyway. How about we have a little look at the cup competitions. So we're currently at the quarter-final stage in the JD Welsh Cup. And Prestatyn are already through to the semi-final, and so are Swansea. Merthyr versus Cardiff will be a battle of the titans there to get through to the semi. And then you've got Denby or Kevin Druids. So a lot of the bigger teams have been knocked out of this competition, so that's mad. Have a look at the fourth round. Who got knocked out and when? So Swansea knocked TNS out. So Llandudno got knocked out by Aberystwyth, understandable. Prestatyn are in it. Merthyr, Cardiff beat Goitra. Yeah, well, we're not going to dive too far back. But even the JD Welsh Cup is above the FA Cup now. That's great, isn't it? So, Let's have a look at the next one, the Nathaniel MG Cup. Now, I do remember this being very much a case of a lot of smaller clubs are in it. But then, if we look at fixtures and results, it'll tell us what division they're in. So there's only 2 Premier League teams left, and that's Newtown and TNS. Got Monmouth, which is Welsh League 1. I think that is the one, that's the 3rd tier, the one below the Cymru Alliance. So CAL is the Cymru Alliance. So that there is the Welsh Alliance League Division 1, which is the league below Monmouth and Conwy. So you'd imagine TNS are going to go through quite comfortably there. So will Newtown. And then looking at it, the 2 home teams there should go through quite comfortably. And then you'll have a semi-final of TNS, Newtown, Denbigh and Kyasus. I think that's how you pronounce that. But no, I mean, technically you could get a team outside the Welsh Premier League win the Nathaniel MG Cup. Exciting times. Let's have a look at the bottom one actually, the FAW Trophy. Okay, so we've got Kevin Albion, Prestatyn Sport, Llangollen and Coedpoeth. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm from Newport, guys, you have to bear with me, my Welsh is piss poor. We didn't really get taught it much in school. But then the FAW Trophy, which is the contested between the bottom 4 leagues in the Welsh League, is still better than the Albanian Cup, just underneath the Icelandic Champions Cup. Not far below the Belgian Super Cup, and the Swedish Cup is better than the Swedish Cup. So I think there's a little bit of money in this as well. Actually, a little bit of money in this one. So have a little look at what divisions these guys are in. So the Welsh National Premier, so that's the bottom. So 2 teams are from the bottom league, and the WL2 I think is the top one, and then that's the one below that one. So I think there is a WL3 in between these leagues then. So I think that's how it works. So have a look. Yeah, so that's the Welsh National Premier, that's the Welsh Football League Division 3, Welsh Alliance League Division 2, Football League Division 2. So them 4, and that's Nathaniel MG, them 4, and Nathaniel MG, them 4, FAW, and that's Nathaniel MG. So there we go, that's the cups. Let's go back to the Premier League and have a final roundup on that before we push on to the end of this. Okay, so the Premier League, we're going to have a look at some player stats now. And we've mentioned Roger Parsonage as a potential future world-class player. So he's pushing on to a current ability of 102. He was on 90 something, wasn't he, at the beginning of the season? So he's obviously playing games and scoring goals, and he's slowly becoming a top quality player. So Gary Medina was the player that Cardiff had signed, that we couldn't really do anything about because he'd signed after the new database had come out, and our database was made before that. So Taylor Jones is the one that's running the show at the moment up front, 22 years old. So yeah, I do remember seeing him, so he's good. But we got a lot of really good players up and coming. Who's this 20-year-old Shane McLaughlin from Kevin Druids, 20 years old. Like to see young players. So he's not going to amount to much. Quite surprised he's scoring so many goals in the league, actually. So assists, I remember David Saunders. I remember him. Aidan O'Neill at Newport, a 19-year-old. We want to look at young players to see players who are going to become greats. He's going to become good. He will become good, but he will get left behind eventually. Trust me. Wyn Price. Here's an interesting one. Aberystwyth. The players to look out for. He's not one that's ever going to amount to much, unfortunately. So the only one we haven't got is average rating. Sorry. So Kean Bolger's still the top player in the division at the moment. That Connor Roberts, who they just signed, he's certainly putting the performances in, so living up to his price tag, of course. And then you got, I'm sure that's Barry. Yep, that's Barry. 2 players at Barry there, looking good. So you can see that all the top players are coming from the top teams. But then Andre Ayew, obviously at Swansea. But Colwyn Bay have got a player in the top here. Geraint Goodridge, 29 years old. Let's have a look, see what kind of Yeah, he's a good player. He'll be up there with, he's obviously up there with the better players in the division. But Parsonage is definitely the rising star of this league. Parsonage at, I forget now. Parsonage at Llandudno. He's going to be a sought after player. I'm surprised he's still at Llandudno now. I'm surprised a Premier League team hasn't come in for him. Let's have a look on his transfer status. There's no interest from anyone. That's mad. He would be a player I would put everything into signing right at the beginning. You make you an absolute minty will when the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid come in for him. When he gets to that, I mean, look at that. This is what he could be. So they need to build a team around him. They do. There we go, guys. That's what it's looking like. Predictions now. I mean, you'd be a fool to think that anyone other than Cardiff are going to win this league now. Although Barry, I got a funny feeling about Barry, but I don't think we've heard the last of Swansea and Merthyr. Newport County have risen from around bottom half of mid-table into 5th place. Good for them. But I don't think they're going to mount a title challenge. I think 5th place, 5th, 6th is Newport and Prestatyn. They'll fight it out between themselves for that. Llandudno may climb a couple of places with Parsonage scoring goals for them. But I think the rest of it, what you'll see from Aberystwyth down, maybe Kevin Druids down, Llandudno push up a place or two, is basically some of the same Cardiff Met Uni had down. And I think anyone from TNS to Bangor could go down as well. I think Cardiff Met Uni, it's hard to see anybody else other than Bangor. They've only won 2 games all season themselves, but they got a bunch of draws. So Bangor and Cardiff Met Uni will go down. And Carmarthen are the other ones I got a bad feeling about because of their bad goal difference. I think they're more prone to losing games with that kind of goal difference for the running. So Carmarthen, Bangor and Cardiff Met Uni are the 3 I think will go down. Cardiff to win the league. Barry and Swansea to finish in the top 3 then as well. Merthyr to stay in 4th, Newport to finish 5th, Prestatyn to finish 6th, Llandudno to finish 7th. Bang. There's my prediction. Am I right? Well, we'll soon find out, guys. I'm going to take us to the end of the season. But actually, let's have a little look at this. I got a feeling I might do something here. The Cymru Alliance playoffs. Oh, I want to look at when the playoffs are. So the playoff final's on the 23rd. So, oh, that's weird. You got a first leg and a second leg of the playoff final. I didn't realise that was the case. Oh well. I'll take us to the 20th, and then we'll do both. We'll do both games. We'll do leg 1 and leg 2. We'll do leg 1 and leg 2. We'll actually watch the games, guys. I think that's a regular end of season thing that we're going to do. So, guys, I'll take it to the 20th. The Premier League should be done by then, and then we'll watch this playoff final. So, until then, guys, I'll see you later. Okay then, here we are, 20th of May, and as predicted, Cardiff won the league, Swansea finished 2nd, although Barry fell to 5th. I didn't see that one coming. I thought with their new striker, they had the firepower to launch an assault on Cardiff. Didn't quite have it. Cardiff only losing the one game against who? Bangor at home. So they didn't lose any away games. It's a massively great return for a league season, not losing any away. 13 draws they may be disappointed with. Drawing at home to Newport and away to Swansea, but looking at those wins, they beat Swansea at home, so they'd have been happy with that. They beat Newport away, they'd have been happy with that. So Cardiff, winners of the first JD Welsh Premier League of our experiment. Swansea 2nd, Merthyr 3rd, Newport 4th. So 4 of the 6 teams that from the English leagues have made the top 4. So I'd imagine regular fans of the actual Welsh Premier League won't be too happy to see this. Although Barry, who's one of the more emotional stories of the Welsh League, finished in 5th. Prestatyn finished in 6th. Llandudno finished in 7th. Kevin Druids 8th. Aberystwyth 9th. Wrexham 10th. They'll be disappointed with that. Bala 11th. Colwyn Bay 12th. Carmarthen didn't go down like I thought they would. Cardiff Met Uni only got the one more win. Connors Quay went down. Bangor saved themselves. So TNS nearly went down. So from champions to near relegation, they'll be disappointed with their first season of our new experiment. And obviously the European teams didn't do anything in Europe for us, so we don't have any extra coefficients to fight for any extra places. But we got Cardiff representing in the Champions League, we got Swansea and Merthyr representing in the Europa League, and whoever won the JD Welsh Cup. So I think that's what we're going to look at next, is the Cup winners, because we're going to be moving over to the Cymru Alliance shortly. So let's have a look. The JD Welsh Cup, that's if the final's been played. Yes, Prestatyn won the first JD Welsh Cup. They beat Swansea in the final on penalties. Nathaniel MG Cup was won by TNS. So TNS, they saved themselves from relegation, but they did manage to win themselves some silverware this season. So keeping up their winning traditions. FAW Premier, well, the FAW Trophy, sorry, was won by Llangollen. Let's have a little look at what division they were in. Llangollen of WL2, I think they are the highest division there, so yeah, no surprise that a team from that division ended up winning that trophy in its first season. So now, it's the Cymru Alliance, guys. Whoa, have we missed it? Well, that's leg one, which was supposed to be on. Hold on a minute. Let's have a look at the league table. Who went up? So Pennybont went on and won, and Guilsfield pushed themselves back up and finished in second place. So Port Airbus, Portmadog, Llandudno Junction, and Holyhead are the teams that made it the playoffs. Holyhead and is that right? Yeah, Holyhead and Portmadog are in the final. So I think we've missed the first leg of that final. What am I in MG Cup for? Come on, let's get it together. Final. I don't get this. So for some reason, the playoff final first leg happened on the 19th of May, not the 20th. I'm pretty certain it said the 20th. So that is when it is now. The next one is on the 23rd of May. So the likely winners of this one is probably going to be Portmadog, because they're the home team for the second leg. I quite like a two-legged final, actually. I quite like that thought. I don't think it was within my intentions to do it this way, though. Strange, I don't get why there's two legs, but it doesn't matter. It still makes for a good finale now. So guys, we will go and we'll see this game, and then we'll have an overview of all 8 divisions, and we'll wrap this first season up. I'll see you at this game. Okay, so here we are then, guys. This is the second leg of the final. Portmadog at home to Holyhead. Portmadog obviously drew 2-2 at Holyhead, so they'd be hot favourites to go through to the JD Welsh Premier League now. So without further ado, let's see. We never know. This is a playoff final. No one knows what's going to happen now. Holyhead have brought a good support with them. Fair play. Let's get the settings right on this before we go any further. So we have no replays. We don't extend. We want key highlights. Match during highlights. We want a little bit quicker. Between highlights, we want super quick. We don't want to make hard work of this. We want to get through it. So looking at this, Holyhead are the ones who are taking hold of things with a possession, which tells me they weren't very clinical in their last game, but Portmadog were. Oh, and they hit clinical now. What a cheeky goal. Oh no, it's been ruled out for offside. It did look like he was off then, actually. So Holyhead looking to seize the initiative now. They've started the better team. Putting Portmadog under pressure now. Oh, he's at the post. Oh, and he stuck it in on the rebound. There's no flag. It looked as though he may have been offside then, but no. Holyhead have the lead. And they claw an away goal back as well. Oh, given away cheaply there. Oh, it's into Delaney again. Oh, I thought he scored then. So Holyhead certainly seizing this game, seizing their opportunity now. They're winning. They're the better team. Portmarnock have had a disallowed goal. They'll be disappointed that he was in an offside position. He will. But in front of their home crowd, they need to start looking for something. They need to dig a bit deeper, and there it is. There's the equaliser. Was he onside? Yes, this time they are onside. The goal stands, and it's 1-1. Holyhead will be disappointed with that. Fell asleep at the back then. But looking at it though, Portmarnock do seem the more fatigued side at the moment. But the second half starts now, and I fancy, if I'm going to say anything, I think Holyhead are going to pinch this one. It. Oh, brilliant goal. Absolutely excellent goal. And there's the 2 away goals clawed back. As it stands, Holyhead are heading to the JD Welsh Premier. A crap joke, I know. You can crucify me for that in the comments if you want. I'm full of shit like that. But are Portmarnock done yet? I don't think they are. Oh, but Holyhead are pushing forward now. Who's going to have this opportunity? No one knows. Portmarnock are giving the ball away so many times so cheaply just in that period of play. That's why they're not creating enough chances. Giving the ball away too easy. Oh, it's over the top. That's a great ball. He finds Delaney. That's got to be it now. Pardon me. That's got to be Holyhead in the JD Welsh Premier. Well done to them. That's got to be all over. But this is a playoff final. Is that really going to be it? This will be it. There it is. It's all over now. No way back for Portmarnock. And in front of all their disappointed fans, the travelling Holyhead support will be going absolutely mental right now. They've been easily the better team in this game. Massively. I don't think they're finished. They're not done yet. They want to really rub salt into it now. They're playing some great football here. Oh, Delaney. Oh, Portmarnock are going to catch them on the break now. Make it all a little bit interesting. No, they're not. So they've made all their subs as well, Portmarnock. If they're going to get back into it, they need a goal now. But they're not going to. Oh, are they? Are they? Get it through to him. He got to score. Oh, what a waste. That could have been the chance to get them back into it. There's enough time left for it, but hit it. Someone hit the ball. Fascinating game of football this is. Portmarnock are inching their way back into it. They're getting hold of some possession, obviously playing the ball a little bit more, but it's not good enough. Damage already done and time about to run out. And there it is. Holyhead are the newest Premier League team. As they celebrate in front of all the Portmarnock fans. That's sickening, isn't it? That's the only problem with this, with the 2 legs. As they're celebrating in front of Portmarnock, and those fans are screaming at them. Oh God. Right then, that's the end of that, guys. We're going to have a quick overview of all the divisions. I'll see you in a second. So, JD Welsh Premier, as we know, Cardiff won the league. Newtown, Connors Quay, Cardiff Met Uni are the teams who go down. Cymru Alliance, Bond and Guilsfield go up, as we know, with Holyhead. And that's quite a shocking thing to see. Holyhead played so well against Portmarnock, but they were that far behind them in the league. But they seized the opportunity. Denby, Flint Town and Rill. That's a surprise, them going down in this division in the first season. Well, they go down. Welsh Football League Division 1. Cambrian and Clydach, Llanelli and Goitra all got. Llanelli are a historical Welsh Premier League team. They should be looking to get back. Same with Port Talbot, maybe next season for them. Britain Ferry, Dundee and Cwmbran Celtic are the teams who go down from this division. Welsh Alliance League Division 1, Llanberis and Llandudno Albion go up along with Aberdare. Bloody hell, Triaddia B, I think that's how you pronounce it, sorry if it's wrong. St Asaph and Llanrwst go down from this division. Okay, Abergavenny, Llangollen and Dinas Powys go up from this division. Llwyd Coed, I think that's correct, STM Sports and Port go down. Okay, so in this division we've got Prestatyn Sports, Brickfield and oh god, the times like this I wish I wasn't from Newport. Alright, and it is Llanr Cymedd, if that's correct, thank god. If not, apologies. Gaerwen, Llanefydd and Boderdern, oh god, go down. They're the teams. As you can see who they are, if you know how to pronounce them well to yourselves, and just crucify me for being from Newport and not learning Welsh in school. So one before last, we've got Welsh Football League Division 3, Tredegar, Bridgend Street and Cairo all get promoted from this one. Right, I'll leave that to you guys. Them and Thomas are the teams that go down. And last but not least, Kevin Albion and FC Nomads are the two teams that get promoted from the Welsh National League Premier. So technically the Welsh National League Premier, I've made this one so it's similar to the National League Premier in England. So only two teams can get promoted from this one. There's only 14 teams in this one as well. So there's only 26 games being played over the league season. Only two go up, but no one goes down. So Buckley have got the wooden spoon of season 1. So if you've got any Buckley fans out there, commiserations to you. Any Cardiff City fans out there, well done. You are the champions of the first ever season of Welsh League football on this experiment. So guys, a pretty long-winded episode. I'm going to try and cut the minutes down as we go along, sort of pick up on things that you want to see, things you feel you don't need to see, just let me know. And if I ramble on, tell me, and I'll work on that one too. So guys, thank you very much for watching this. I know we got a good bit of interest from some Welsh fans, and any other fans who actually like the look of this, feel free to come in and give me your thoughts on it. If you want the database, you can get it on Steam. It is under Together Stronger, but make sure you get the 1.1 version. For those of you who already have the database, send some screenshots of your save games. Let us know how you're getting on with your teams. It'd be great to interact with all of you. So, thank you guys. Really enjoying this one. More really exciting stuff to come from this series. So keep with it, guys. Thank you very much. And until the next time, it's cheerio for now.